So we are here talking about the St. Louis Cardinals here on 30 Parks in 30 Days. Myself, my brother Darren Redmond. We are your host for this 30 Parks in 30 Days. And tonight we're going to talk about a team, the St. Louis Cardinals, that a few years ago felt like they were always in the playoffs year after year. Something went wrong though last year too. Maybe it was Molina retiring, maybe other people that walked away. But we're going to get into it. We're going to let you know where we feel that the Cardinals fall in 2025. But before we do that, Christopher Bennett and Nashville Tax Solutions. We're going to hear a little bit about what they do, who they are, and then we'll get into the Cardinals talk.
Attention Palm Bay and Fort Pierce. Are you struggling with tax issues? Whether you're behind on filings, dealing with the lien, or just need expert guidance, Nashville Tax Solutions here to help. Their team knows the ins and outs of tax relief and is ready to fight for you. But don't just take my word for it. Don't take Mike's word for it. Listen to what some of their clients have had to say. Chris Bennett and his team has saved me from my financial nightmare. They're knowledgeable, they're clear, and they're compassionate. So don't let tax troubles keep you up at night. Call 855-627-4829. Visit NashvilleTaxSolutions.com or email info@NashvilleTaxSolutions.com today. Nashville Tax Solutions, because tax problems deserve real solutions.
Thank you, Darren, and thank you, Nashville Tax Solutions, who I'm sure will have an office in St. Louis in no time. But we are here to talk about the Cardinals 2025 team. And so this is a team that they had a meeting after the season, and they're like, okay, how can we get better? Let's do nothing. They decided that they are going to take Phil Maton for a 1-year deal. And then they were like, you know what? We're good. That's all we need. Now we're going to make the playoffs. Not quite sure I understand that philosophy. I can't imagine that they're not financially well off enough to pick somebody up, but they did lose Paul Goldschmidt to the Yankees. They did lose Andrew Kittredge, but apparently they felt like even though they put a team out there last year, they've got enough to compete. What are your thoughts on that? Because like as far as all the clubs that we've covered, that's like a list you would expect from like the Tampa Bay Rays or a team like that doesn't spend a lot of money. This is the Cardinals. What's going on?
I'm very surprised because the Cardinals always compete and they always put a wonderful product on the field. And they have a great fan base. They take their sport very serious. My hope is, and I have a love-hate relationship with the Cardinals because I'm a Met fan, but they are one of those teams that you admire because they do things right. I think what they're going to do this year, obviously, is kind of see what happens with Arenado, but they're going to wait to the trading deadline. If they're close, they're going to go all in, and if they're not close, they're going to just retool for next year. I think, and they're in. Let's face it, they're in a very murky division, right? And I think that's the strategy. They're going to see how things look early on, settle down. Do we have a shot? All in. If we don't have a shot, all out.
Yep, I agree with that. Honestly, this is a team that can financially spend at the deadline if need be. So let's talk about the rotation. So at first here, you see Sonny Gray is the anchor of the staff. I'm not quite sure in 2025 if he's a number one, if he's an ace in my book, but Andre Palante, Eric Fedde, Steven Matz, and Miles McCullis. Now, here's the thing with Steven Matz, though. They actually had, so they wanted Michael McGreevy, McWhopper, McDouble, McNugget. They wanted him in the rotation, but they were smart enough to realize 5 right-handed pitchers equals no bueno. And so they actually went ahead and sticking with Steven Matz. But Michael McGreevy is in the rear view mirror, and anytime he can be called up to the mix show, and so at any time now. So Steven Matz, Miles, they had down years last year, consecutive bad years. Yep. Miles is a guy who we thought of 3 years ago as an ace, and he's faltered, moving all the way down in the 5 spot. So your thoughts on this rotation? Not too attractive on my end.
I look at it and I say, wow, Mike, welcome to 2011. I mean, this is not this is the rotation of what might have been or once was, because it is not a rotation of what is going to be really good this year. I mean, Sonny Gray, okay, but he's what at best, in my opinion, a 3. You know, and then Steven Match we talked about already. I mean, the worst thing he ever did was leave the Mets. You know, go into Toronto and didn't do so well, and then he doesn't do very well wherever he goes. You know, and Mike Lacus. I mean, kind of depressing. And then Edie Falco, right, leaving the Sopranos, and now's the third starting pitcher. For we kid, we jest. It's comedy, folks.
Yes.
Pick the comedy buffet.
Now, so this is a team. So let's look at that lineup. We got Mason Wynn, shortstop, Wilson Contreras, Lars Nootbaar. Sounds like something you'd order, next to the register. Like you got all your groceries, good to go.
It's an impulse item.
Yes. Yep. You just got to grab that Lars Nootbaar before maybe they didn't have the Butterfinger, so you grab the Nootbaar. Not as good as the Butterfinger, but decent.
Butterfinger like.
Right. Yes. And then we got Brendan Donovan and Ivan Herrera, Nolan Gorman, Jordan Walker, Victor Scott II, super speedy athlete. One thing that was funny though in here, so so this is the projected lineup as of March 16th, right? So it doesn't jump off the page at you, not that great. Nolan Arendo shell of what he was. They have, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but they have this big paragraph that says, in the event Arendo gets traded, something that could be pertinent topic all season, this one can slide over to third, and this guy could go to second, and then this would happen. Like that is a mentality that you don't want to, like, it seems like they're just, we're going to falter. So here's our plan A. We're just going to move second to short and short to third. This isn't Little League, folks. We don't switch our right fielder into pitch in the 5th inning. So this is a team that is not going to do very well, in my opinion, this season.
I'm seriously, I'm disappointed in this team. I don't know what they're doing. It's you expect more out of the Cardinals than
this. I mean, you go to West Palm here, and it's bleeding red. Every shirt in the crowd is red. But I feel like we're going to start seeing some away team colors here. Some people are just going to go in a t-shirt and jeans to watch the game because this is not a winning product. So I will go first here. Let's recap real quick where we have placed teams in this division. So starting from the top, myself and Darren were in agreement that the or that the division winner would be the Chicago Cubs this season. Not that they're going to be the best team in the NL, but they are a team that's much improved. We differed a little bit on second place. Darren has the Brewers in the 2 spot. I have the Pirates actually as a playoff team in the 2 spot. That's my surprise team this year. And then we flip-flop Brewers. Darren, or Brewers myself was third. Darren third for the Pirates. And the Reds in the 4th spot. So that would mean, doing the math, that unfortunately the Cardinals are the White Sox of the NL Central. It's just not looking good, kids. And, I guess maybe there's some hope in the farm system, not sure. But that's where it looks like that they're going to be in the dweller. And this is the Cardinals, like I said earlier. Cardinals are a team synonymous with playoffs. You think playoffs, you think Cardinals. So, unfortunately, that's what it's going to be. But thanks, you guys, for watching this episode. Not a team to really be excited about this season, but you never know. There's always next year. I know it's March. We shouldn't be saying that, but there is always next year. Until next time, we'll see you around the ballpark.